Good morning, watch nerds. So what would you normally pay for a watch with a jump hour movement on a decent leather strap with a sapphire crystal? Well, unless you're talking a vintage timepiece with some sort of digital display and an awful movement, it'll cost you a lot. That isn't to say that I don't have a soft spot for such watches, and in the past I've owned a few myself. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, here are a few. So why can you jump on AliExpress and buy a brand new one of these for around about £135 delivered to the UK? Or less if you don't have to pay duty. I suppose it's because it's Chinese. Seriously, I'm convinced if this came out of Europe, it would cost you squillions of pounds. Although that may be a slight exaggeration. And welcome to my unpaid and unsponsored review of the Pierre Paulin Jump Hour watch. Pierre Paulin are one of Mercer's brands. Why they didn't decide just to put Mercer on the dial, I really don't know. And this is the Mercer branded packaging. It's actually really nice quality. What's in camouflage, I've absolutely no idea. Anyway, it's a zip container, takes one watch, and inside there's a cleaning cloth and a copy of War and Peace, which I won't be reading. On with the dimensions then, and these are my measurements. Although this white dialed version is available with a 36mm case, this is 38mm, which I consider is my personal sweet spot. Correction, it's probably 37mm, but that's very rare. The lug width is 20mm, the depth is 12.2mm, which includes a box sapphire crystal, although if you want to save a few dollars, you can buy this with the mineral crystal, but why would you? The lug to lug is 46mm, and on this strap it weighs about 70 grams. The movement inside this is a customised automatic Seagull ST17. From my little experience with Seagull movements, they've proved to be reliable and if regulated correctly can be very accurate. It's got a 40-hour power reserve. It's a 3 Hz movement, which means it ticks away at 21,600 beats per hour, but it doesn't hack. In reality though, that isn't really that important. But it does hand wind. In real life, this is running at plus 1.5 seconds a day, which is pretty damn amazing. But let's see what the time grapher thinks of it. Well, certainly nothing to worry about there. A good beat error, an excellent amplitude, and look how good that rate is. The signed push-pull crown is quite large at 6.8mm. It's signed, and it's remarkably well knolled for a watch at this price. Now you simply turn it clockwise and you'll see the hour change, or you can turn it anti-clockwise and it will go backwards. Although this may not be the classic way to tell the time, it really is amazingly easy and it takes very little time to adjust. Now it's also worth noting that the hand winding action on this is absolutely fantastic. Now the earlier versions of this watch had a different case, so pay attention. I presume the case is made of 316L stainless steel, but I can't find anything on their website to actually confirm this. The bezel and the lugs are polished, which suits the watch perfectly, but the sides of the case are vertically brushed. The brushing certainly isn't the most refined I've ever seen, and I would have preferred horizontal brushing if I'm honest, but it's certainly more than respectable. What is nice is that they've drilled the lugs for easy strap removal, and the case is nicely shaped to fit my 17cm wrist. The case back screws down to aid its claimed 50 metres of water resistance. Let's face it, who's going to take this watch anywhere near water? The engraving is quite nice, but note, it's the Mercer branding, not the Pierre Paulin, but I'll get to that in a while. At present, their website indicates this style is available in salmon, green, black or the silver white. I bought this almost new one, but if I had a choice, I would have quite fancied the green, probably only because I already have a silver and a salmon dial dress watch. There is no question though that the star of this watch is its dial. A minute track on the outer then leading into the Breguet indices and a textured inner. What the hell isn't there to like? Well, actually, I'm not that keen on the raised brand name, but I love the hour window, and even though I'm not normally that keen on subdials, I love the way this second hand takes up half of the 6 o'clock indices. The two hands are blue, but for this price I doubt they're heat treated blue, if you know what I mean. But who really cares? I have to say though, it's a shame that the circle on the minute hand isn't aligned with the hour window. For those wondering, this doesn't actually have a loom, but you don't really expect it on this type of watch. You can actually buy this watch on a bracelet, but if I've ever seen a watch less suited to a bracelet, I think this is it, and that comes from a bloke who normally likes his watches on a bracelet. Now this leather strap is very decent, including its Mercure branded buckle. Although I do find it quite long, so I don't think I'll be wearing it on this strap. It does have the added advantage though of quick release spring bars. Now I think this is a real strap monster, so here are a few pictures of it on some of my spare straps. So what do I like and dislike about this watch? When Jody at Just One More Watch reviewed this watch, he complained that the parent company was named too much, i.e. the packaging, the strap, the case back and the crown. I'm going to go the other way. Why didn't they just put Merc on the dial? Or even better still, some Chinese script. There's nothing wrong with Chinese brands being unashamedly Chinese. And Pierre Paulin, well, it's not that great a name anyway, is it? Other than the branding, there is little to complain about though. The jump hour movement is about as good as you're going to get unless you spend an absolute fortune. The dial is gorgeous, and even the strap isn't bad. Basically, for this sort of price, this watch is nothing short of amazing. Of course, bear in mind if something does go wrong, you probably got a little comeback. But that's the risk when you buy a watch from another country. Well, that brings me to the end of this review. And once more, thanks for putting up with me. If you've enjoyed it, please click on the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave your comments below and enjoy the rest of your day.